We're going to be talking today about AI. So we're going to recognize and rise with AI. It is very important for us to do that because AI is a part of everything that we have right now. In fact, you are using AI if you are emailing or using a mobile device. You are using it. So there is no missing and skipping AI. So we see a lot of mistakes happening. Let's talk about the top 5 mistakes right now that people are experiencing and what they themselves are creating with AI. All right. Number 1 is random acts of AI. People are doing random acts of AI. This is what I hear in about 90% of my meetings. All right, so these are people chasing those shining AI tools. Let's try this. Let's do this. Let's get this agent. I walked into a company and they had 22 different agents that they purchased. One to handle email, one to be able to handle booking on the calendar, one to be able to clone and speak like the owner of the business. But nobody was managing any of them. They just let them loose. They hoped they did well and they did no training. So all they did was had it read a couple of blog posts that the actual writer and the thought leader of that business did, the actual owner of that business. So now they have all these shiny tools living in silos that don't speak to each other, that don't learn from each other, and their people are confused and they're exhausted. So that overpromise results, and those vague numbers is what happens if you don't get specific. A lot of people are in experimentation right now, which is great, but without defined success metrics, then that's an expensive experiment, right? And I like very cheap experiments because I'm very much a bootstrap marketer, right? I like free or small fee. So tie every AI project to one measurable business outcome. For example, what you need to ask, if that comes up in where you work or if you are the one leading the charge here, ask what is the one thing, if improved, makes the entire investment worth it? What is that one thing, right? Again, what's that specific? What do you want it to do? What will it save or generate? What is the specific results? Number 2 is the autopilot accident, right? So when you look at the autopilot accident here, it is leaving AI unsupervised. Just like I even told you in the scenario 1 with this company where they have all of those different agents at work. Nobody is the human quality assurance or the human leader of that. And it is one thing to be AI driven, but it definitely has to be human led because that is the uniqueness that we actually bring to the table that people are more interested in and connect with. All right, so we see the autopilot accident. We see an AI sales bot that changed the event dates. Changed the event dates and cost a business because it changed the date. So it started on sale before it was supposed to, and then it continued longer. That's a big thing, everybody. So treat AI like it is a new hire on probation. Set up those checkpoints, know what's happening there. So keep oversight and also make sure you position it as it's an assistant. You would never let an assistant just run wild. All right, so keep that in mind. It is meant to augment, not to replace. The other mistake is prompting like it's a Google search, right? So just write 7 emails to promote Netflix. You're an expert copywriter for Netflix. Now you see a better example in giving it a role. You're an expert copywriter for Netflix. Write 7 sales-driven emails that re-engage, I can't read today, inactive subscribers using curiosity-based subject lines. Those professional prompts are what make all the difference. So when I say professional prompts, it's that persona prompt, like you just saw there in that where the green check mark is in the good example. It's that persona prompt where you're defining what AI's roles are. Structured prompting actually lets it know the goals, who the audience is, and what the tone is. All right, mistake number 4. Copy and pasting instead of customizing. All right. So making sure that you are using different prompts and different ways that you're sharing and speaking to AI and reiterating that information is important. You see here that one agency would use the same prompt. I see so many people buy prompts, and that is so, it really is last year, and we see AI evolves every 7 days. So you're really way behind if you are using prompts you bought and you don't customize them or change them, because now you're just getting basically the same sounding thing over and over and over again. You want to make AI sound like you. You're going to add your brand voice, your data, and your examples to prompts. You're going to ask AI to rewrite it in your tone and treat AI as your creative amplifier. All right? So mistake number 5 is measuring the wrong thing. All right? So those are, again, you're counting tools instead of ROI. Just like when I walked into that actual meeting and I found out they have 21 agents. They were very proud of 21 agents. So they were counting tools, not return on investment. There's a big difference. So that's mistaking activity for progress. Busy work is bad work. All right. So it's important to work smarter, not be busier. There was a time back in the 80s when that was what we used as far as our, our actual, claim to fame. Yeah, look at how busy we are, how many beepers we are, how many calls, how many meetings. We're just everywhere. Those days are over. Busy work is bad work. You want smart work. So again, you want results. We're looking at results and outcome, which means you're going to create an AI ROI dashboard. So fixing, measuring what matters is what happens. You're going to have an ROI dashboard of what you want your AI to do and take a look at that.